These are missing persons from Alabama from 1990 through 1992. On January 1st, 1990, Anderson Wheeler disappeared from Montgomery, Alabama. He was 51 years old. He would now be 87. He was 5'8" and weighed 165 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. Any information, call 334-832-4980. On August 23rd, 1990, James Burrows disappeared from Anniston, Alabama. He was 23 years old. He would now be 58. He was 6 foot, weighed 145 pounds with brown hair and green eyes. Any information, call 256-237-4731. On September 5th, 1990, Jeffrey McFry disappeared from Anniston, Alabama. He was 23 years old. He would now be 58. He was 5'10" and weighed 150 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. Any information, call 256-237-4731. On March 29th, 1991, Travis Phillips disappeared from Dauphin Island, Alabama. He was 23 years old. He would now be 58. He was 6'2" and weighed 150 pounds with blonde hair and green eyes. Any information, call 251-861-5523. On April 24th, 1991, Annie Sullivan disappeared from Bessemer, Alabama. She was 85 years old. She would now be 120. She was 5'2" and weighed 110 pounds with gray hair and brown eyes. Any information, call 205-481-4354. On September 11th, 1991, Carolyn Lawson disappeared from Jasper, Alabama. She was 25 years old. She would now be 59. She was 5'7" and weighed 145 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. Any information, call 334-242-7300. On January 10th, 1992, Anthony Davis disappeared from Huntsville, Alabama. He was 19 years old. He would now be 53. He was 5'11" and weighed 175 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. Any information, call 256-722-7100. On July 11th, 1992, Felicia Cochran disappeared from Pell City, Alabama. She was 26 years old. She would now be 60. She was 5'3" and weighed 135 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. Any information, call 205-884-3334. On October 2nd, 1992, Gerald Walker disappeared from Midland City, Alabama. She was 26 years old. She would now be 59. She was 5'3" and weighed 135 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. Any information, call 334-615-3000. On December 3rd, 1992, Edward Conseguera disappeared from Montgomery, Alabama. He was 36 years old. He would now be 69. He was 5'9" and weighed 170 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. Any information, call 334-625-2810. On December 25th, 1992, Peggy Mock disappeared from Gadsden, Alabama. She was 37 years old. She would now be 70. She was 5'3" and weighed 115 pounds with blonde hair and blue eyes. Any information, call 256-593-6812. Do you know someone that is missing and you want to spread awareness on their case? Email me at saturdaysearch@gmail.com, or you can find me on any of the socials below, all at Saturday Search.